Just got this in. So this is the Syma X500. This is Syma's newest drone for 2020. We're going to be taking a look at it today and doing a flight review. Syma kindly sent this out to me to do a review for you guys, and so that is what's going to happen here. And it's interesting for me because Syma was the company that really got me started in the hobby. The Syma X5C is one of the most famous toy drones, and it's how I learned to fly. So to see where they are in 2020, it's going to be interesting. We're all going to get to take a look at it together. Comes with a nice little carrying case here. Now here's what we've got inside here. Let's take a look at the X500. Now we've got a folding drone, easily unfolds, two front arms, and the back here. Now it's got a camera on it and an SD card slot so you can record your video footage, but the camera on this model is not stabilized. This is just a camera that moves up and down with a servo using the controls. The camera on the bottom here is called the optical flow sensor, and this is supposed to help the drone between the GPS and the sensor on the bottom to keep itself centered. We're going to be testing all this, giving it a try today. We're going to take a look at the remote real quick here. So this is the transmitter or remote controller for the X500. It's really not a mystery. Everything is pretty well labeled. We've got the antenna, and this is where you would put your phone, and I'm happy to report that my fat phone, the iPhone 8 Plus, does fit pretty comfortably in the mount. It actually fits in there with a case, so that's pretty nice. So that's it. Let's take this thing up for a flight. I am ready to give this a go. I'm gonna put it down here on the landing pad. Now I've got the remote, and we're gonna turn that on. We're gonna do up and down on the left stick until that light goes solid. Then we will have bound to the quadcopter. Now the next bit involves the phone, and in the Wi-Fi settings, you should see X30, 4K, 5G, something, something. That is the Wi-Fi network on this drone to transmit the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and click connect. We're gonna go to the Syma Air app. Now in this app, this is where you begin. You press prepare. Now the first thing you should do is calibrate the drone on a completely level surface. And I actually recommend doing this at home on a surface that you know is level before you get out here to the field. And the reason for that is because this surface here is not completely level, and there's no way to really do that here. So you want to make it as precise as you can be. This is the GPS calibration. I'm going to do that here. So I'm going to press calibrate, and this is what you do. So you first rotate the drone horizontally a little bit, and the app will tell you when to start rotating it vertically, and that's what we're doing here. This will give us a good calibration on the compass by doing this. All right, that's it. Now we're in the app, and it says to please take care of safety and keep a distance of 3 meters between you and the drone. Let's not forget our little antenna. Make sure that's up here. To take off, really simple. All you need to do is use the left stick and hold it up, and that starts the motors. And there we go, we're up in the air. Now for the optical flow sensor, which is the sensor on the bottom, and that's the camera we're actually looking at the moment, I'm going to change it to the view from the camera from the front. There we go. Now you can see me. Let's actually get that optical flow camera off. There we go. So I'm going to press the record button on the side to start recording. And the app will show that we've got recording going. So there we go. Now it seems to be hovering in play. Well, no, not really. The flashing lights in the back here, according to what Syma says in the manual, say that it means that the optical flow is not able to get its position. So it's trying to use the optical flow sensor to get a position, but it can't. Could be that it's a little windy, but I've tried this when it wasn't as windy, and I still can't get the optical flow sensor to work all the way. So that's seems to be mostly using GPS to keep its position at the moment. So this is pretty much all GPS. I've got it right over this orange mat here, and it's still kind of bobbing around. So I know they say it has optical flow, but I don't feel like it keeps super steady, right? And we've got a camera that's not stabilized. We talked about that, but we can adjust the camera angle. See, I'm adjusting the camera angle right now. Go down a little bit more. There we go. There I am. So it's just kind of floating. The lights are still flashing. Let's just kind of go back and forth here a little bit, get a feel for the controls. So this drone doesn't stop on a dime. Like, I let go of the sticks and it's got to float a little bit before it stops, right? It doesn't really immediately stop. It feels like it's got a lot of weight to it, per se. Floats a little bit. It's a little floaty. That's the best way that I can describe it. It's a bit of a floaty drone. Oh boy. We do have quite a bit of wind, so it is there we go. That's the panorama here. Like I said, very shaky video. It is not stabilized. All right. So let's take it out now. Let's see how far we get. I'm going all the way out. We've got a distance of 40 meters now. 50 meters, still have video. 60 meters, still have video. This is really, we're putting it in really the best case scenario, guys, because there's really nothing out here. There's not much in terms of obstacles. I'm away from all the homes here, so there's no Wi-Fi out in the field. You know, we maybe saw that one little network peeping in and out, but, you know, there's really not a lot of interference out here. So we got a distance of 115 meters so far. 123 meters, 129 meters. Now I'm over the trees. You know what? It's frozen now. I can still see it, but it's frozen. I'm going to just bring it home. I'm going to use the return to home button. Call it back home to me. So now it's turning around. Yeah, we're going to just call it at about 120 meters is the max distance that I was able to get using my iPhone on 5G, which is what Syma recommends, the 5.8 gigahertz. So we're coming home. We're at 75 meters. We're going to watch it land on the pad. All right, so you know what? I stopped it from landing. That's about how close it was to the pad. So that is the margin of error with respect to the GPS. Okay, so now let's try some of the other little features here. Okay, it's not optical flow, can't start the vision following. Okay, so I guess because the optical flow sensor is just not wanting to function, I'm not going to be able to do the follow me. That was the follow me button, guys. Now let me try the waypoints, see if it will do the waypoints. Well, let's do circling, just do basic circling, actually. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're gonna circle. It's circling. So we're just kind of getting a circular shot. I like that. It's doing it all by itself. That's cool. Just wants to make sure that you're high up enough and that you're not going to run into anything when you do that. So you get an idea of the radius here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop the circle flight. Now I want to do the waypoint flight. Now this is going to be a little tricky. Alright, let's just do a very, very simple waypoint flight. I'm going to send it out. Oh wow, it's going to rise altitude. Okay. Alright, here we go. It's going out for its flight here. And now it's turning, and it's going that way. And then it should come back this way to me. It's actually automatically recording. It appears to have stopped my other recording in the process of doing that. And there we go. That's where we are. Yep, so it followed the waypoints. Alright, well I've got about half battery left at this point, but I've gone over most of the main features. I'm going to grab this drone, and we're going to call it a day. So the question is, should you buy this drone? And my answer to that is, unfortunately, no. You should not buy this drone for the price that they are asking. So let's kind of explore that for a little bit here. So they're asking at the moment close to $200 for this drone. It's $189 on Amazon. With a coupon code they gave me, it drops the price down a little bit, but still not enough, okay? This is a toy grade GPS quadcopter. The motors are not very strong. The optical flow just flat out didn't work for me, so it's only GPS. I think you're not going to see that 28-minute flight time. It'll probably be around 15 to 20 minutes. Distance is 350 meters, right? But the video, you're only going to get 120, 130 meters of video, best case scenario. I mean, I flew this thing from my backyard, and with the Wi-Fi in the area, I was only able to get 80 meters before it froze. Out in the big field, where you didn't have all that interference, that's when I got that best case scenario of 120, 130. And I think that the weakness of the brushed motors is really where this thing just starts to break down, right? It just can't hold its own in the air. It just can't. It's bobbling around, and it has no electronic stabilization on the camera. Like, you know, it's nice that you can move the camera up and down, but who cares? It needs some stabilization. I'm not against drones like this that are toy grade with a GPS to start out with, especially if they are for the right price. I think they give you a good stepping stone. At the same point in time, I'm not going to recommend something that costs half of what the DJI Mavic Mini costs to somebody who's looking to get into this hobby. It is just too much money. Sorry, Syma. If they were to fix a few issues with this thing and lower the price, mainly lower the price, then it would be something that I could get on board with it. I would be okay with it. All right, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. And as always, have a great day. I'm going to go do some flying. It's a beautiful day. And you all take care.